Hello, everyone. I'm Giuliano, and today I'm going to talk about some job interviews I had in the last few days. Well, I made recently another video here on the channel talking about those interviews, and one of them was on video, and I had to read some questions and record myself by using my phone and giving some answers in English, and then it was automatically uploaded on the client server. And I found this way of doing interviews very modern because we just have to read questions and answer them, and then someone will take a look at our videos and select us or not. Well, it was very nice. And some days afterwards, I was looking at my phone and I discovered that the interview is recorded in my cell phone. So I have access to the videos. Um, I thought I didn't have, but I have. So now I had the idea to put them together here in a video showing you some of my answers to those questions. I don't remember exactly which were the questions I had to answer, but according to the answers, I can have an idea because I talked about CAT2s, language learning, and problem solutions. And yeah, so please take a look at my answers. I'm going to put some titles here so that you can understand also which were the questions. Hello, my name is Juliano. Well, I studied computer science at college, but after working as a systems analyst for 6 years, I decided to work with languages. I had studied English and French when I was a teenager, and Portuguese is my native tongue. So I loved when I learned languages and I wanted to work with it. And then I quit my previous job and became a translator. I found pros.com, which is a very big portal on the internet. And I started translating in 2008. I met some clients over there, and now I have 12 years of experience. And I work with English, French, Portuguese since the beginning, but then I learned another 3 languages: German, Spanish, and Italian. So I work with 6 languages now, mainly as a translator, but also as a simultaneous interpreter in the last 5 years. So I am very involved with languages. I study them since 1994. That's 26 years of learning languages. I also organize an event in Brazil called Polyglotar, which is an event about languages, translation, interpretation, and I am very involved in the translators community in Brazil and also in other countries. And well, that's my passion. I love languages. I love working with them. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you very much for the time. I am completely fluent in Portuguese, English, and French. I speak all 3 languages in a very high level. Regarding Spanish, I also can understand everything because it's very similar to Portuguese. I work with Spanish for a very long time. Italian, I study it for around 4 years. I still have classes twice a week, so my level of Italian is very advanced. And German, I also studied in Austria. I lived there for a few months in 2008 and 2009. I visited Germany, Switzerland, and I spoke German a lot. So I have friends who I communicate with in all these languages. I work with CAT2s every day for several clients all over the world. So I have already used around 20 CAT2s, especially Trados, MemSource, MemoQ, WordFast, Idiom, and many others. Well, each of my clients adopts a different CAT2, so I am very used to many of them. I find them very easy to understand, also because I have an information technology background. I studied computers, so it's very easy for me to know a new cat tool and know how to use it very well in only a very few minutes. So I don't have any problems with technological tools. I also use desktop cat tools and online cat tools depending on the client. So it's really not my choice, but the client's choice. So I can adapt very fast to any cat tool I am presented to. And I use translation memories, of course, and term-based. Yeah, I have a very large experience in that. So far, in the last 12 years, I have already translated or proofread over 18 million words. So 18 million words is a lot of words in several different cat tools. I also have a channel on YouTube where I talk about translation, interpretation, cat tools. I explain to other translators how to use them. So I'm very familiar with all of this. Well, cultural fluency is when you know the other culture, when you have lived abroad, for example, or you have contact with people from that culture, or you read books, you watch television. And I do that in all the 6 languages I work with. So I watch a lot of television. I have traveled abroad many times, especially to Europe, but also South America. I lived in Europe for over 10 months in Austria and England, but I visited many countries. I have friends from all over the place, and I know the details about languages also because I read books in all those languages very often. I would say that I know a lot about culture, and I know it's important to know about it to provide a very good translation to make sense for the public. I work as a proofreader very often, so I am always receiving translations from other linguists, and I make sure that the text flows well. I see if it makes sense. There are many punctuation problems and accents in Portuguese or words that people translate wrongly, so I pay attention to all those details. If the text makes sense, if it flows well, if it sounds natural, if, for example, you don't think that it is a translation, or maybe you could think that it is a text already written in Portuguese from the beginning. So that's what I look for when I am proofreading a text, and I am very detail oriented. To understand the audience, I maybe can take a look at some videos on YouTube about that country, about that speaker, to get used to how they sound, and also regarding the accents, that people have different accents, and we, as interpreters, we have to understand many of them. So I am very much in contact with people from many countries, many backgrounds. I can understand several variants of English, French, Portuguese, especially. And yeah, how do I prepare? I try to find some material about the topic they will speak about, and then I get prepared before the event. That's how I do it. In the last few years, I have been offered many machine translation post-editing jobs. Machines are able to translate better and better as time passes, and I find that wonderful because I love technology. And well, I think post-editing a text translated by a machine or translated by a human is basically the same thing. The thing is that humans translate better still than machines in most of the times, and I have to change less things. But when I proofread machine translation, It's the same thing, just reviewing the text and making it flow correctly, seeing if the words make sense, if the message is uh, conveyed correctly. Yeah, sometimes I receive jobs for post editing, machine translation, and the text is very good. I find it great. It saves a lot of time, and it can make more words being translated than if we would use only humans. A difficult work environment, for example, could be a very tight deadline. In that case, I received once 8,000 words to translate from German into Portuguese to the next day, and then I hired myself 3 other translators, and I managed the team of 4 people to translate the text and deliver it in the next day. So I try to get help from colleagues when I can do that. Also in events, as an interpreter, I try to make things easier for everyone. Whatever I can do, I do it the best I can. I also provide solutions. I suggest things, how things could be done differently if necessary. Then the clients will be happy. I think the most important skill would be empathy, because if we are translating a text, we have to think that someone else is going to read it. And we want to make sure that they will understand. So we have to put ourselves in their shoes so that we translate something that will make sense for them. So we have to have empathy for the others. Also, as an interpreter, we know that people are not understanding each other if we are not there. So we have to be patient. Also, we have to understand that people have different difficulties, and we should make things easier for everyone. And yeah, provide solutions and suggestions to make everyone more comfortable.